back at Zach Moves Abroad. I am walking against the sunlight right now, but I have this beautiful sunset behind me, this beautiful Greek sunlight set, and I am just getting a chance to sort of explore the neighborhood here in my time in Crete. We've been in Crete for a couple of weeks now, but I haven't really been able to make any videos, mostly because I've been just doing parenting duty. One of the things about doing the full-time travel thing is that, one of us ends up doing our, productivity stuff, and my wife is the student of the two of us. She is the person who is doing a full-time studying to be for her master's program, and I end up being the full-time parent. So I end up doing most of the stuff around the house during most days, although we've just now recently started doing a really solid balance exchange. So that's been allowed me to do more of my content creation during the day, which has been really nice. So all that to say, expect to see more YouTube videos from me here soon. And this being one of the first that I'm doing, walking around town and just enjoying it. So, my experience or my impressions of being here in Crete have been very good. I enjoy being in Crete. I enjoy Greece. I enjoy Greek culture. I enjoy the vibe here. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the environment. I am going to put on my sunglasses. Hopefully the audio isn't like the absolute worst. I am by a road here, so it's a bit loud, but the pros of being here in Greece is that it's absolutely gorgeous. Where I'm walking right now probably doesn't do it enough justice, just because, I don't know, I'm in like an urban area, but it is so beautiful most of the time. There's just like, I don't know, beautiful flowers around, beautiful bushes. There's like 850 different endemic plants to this area that are so there's just plants that don't exist anywhere else in the world other than this part of than Greece and Crete. And that's amazing. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can swim over to these flowers. Oops, I went the wrong way. Oop. But there's these flowers that just exist all over the place. And so you'll just be walking and then there's these flower bushes. So those are beautiful. I love those. I enjoy seeing lots of natural beauty, and there's just tons of it here. If you're a hiker, this is probably a paradise for you. I am not a hiker. So it's not a thing for me. My kids aren't like super hikey. Because we're not hiking people, they don't like that. So we do like walking around. We've become more walking people, but that sort of segues into maybe one of the cons. This area doesn't have a ton of pavements. I don't know if you see where I'm walking, but it's basically just a street with a street. So to get to the store where I'm heading right now, you just have to walk along the street, and it's a single lane road, which I am walking against traffic. As you see, there's a car passing me right now. Oop. But being a single lane road, you're walking against traffic and traffic's coming behind you. So that's just is what it is. There are basically no pavements in this area whatsoever. I've seen one. Pavements equal sidewalks for anybody who is not familiar with that term. My American siblings. So, don't expect to see them. Where I go most of the time, there are no pavements. In the cities like Heraklion, there are pavements. Obviously in Hania, there are pavements. Obviously, bigger areas. But in like just wherever your normal average area is, there may or may not be. So don't expect those. And then therefore you'll be walking along the side of the road. But back to the pros, the people. My God, the people are incredible. One of the things that has been just exceptional about being here is that like every person we've encountered has been just so nice to us. Incredibly friendly. We haven't, it's been kind of funny how we've been able to tell if they're Greek or not is how nice they are. That's not entirely true. And, I apologize for all my foreigners that we've encountered, but it's kind of true. The most curt people we've encountered have been not Greek. All the really, really, really friendly people that we've talked to have been Greek, and they've been very helpful, and they've been very patient and very understanding. And, we do our best with the, microscopic amount of Greek we know, but we can pretty much introduce ourselves and say thank you. And that's it. But everybody is very nice. Whereas, tourists they struggle. All tourists struggle. We all struggle together. And some tourists are better than others as far as being accommodating towards their fellow tourists and being respectful of the locals. And so I'm not going to clump all tourists together and say that we're all terrible, because I fall into that camp as well. But we're not all created equally. I will say that. So we've encountered some, yeah, we've been in some mixed situations, and other people that haven't been the easiest have been definitely tourists. That being said, yeah, getting around has been relatively easy, thankfully. When we do encounter buses, when we are able to get on buses, we have been able to get on them, and they've been very easy to navigate. It's just pretty much get on a bus and go. The buses, however, have been a little inconsistent. And what I mean by that is sometimes just randomly in the middle of the day, there is a bus that is so full that it passes you, and then you'll have to wait for the next bus to come. And then sometimes that bus is also so full that it'll just pass you, and you'll have to wait for the next bus. And so we have sat for about an hour waiting for, every 15 minutes, for 4 buses to come. And they will deploy buses. So it was only like 45 minutes, I think. But, they had to deploy some extra buses at one point for our bus stop to get caught up. And it eventually did. We had a completely empty bus come to our exact stop and turn around and pick us up. But that had to happen. So that's something to just be aware of. That, I'm sure it can happen anywhere, but it was definitely unexpected, and, one of those things that can happen. But I don't blame that on anybody. It's just, sometimes it happens. One of the things that's been really, really amazing is, though, every time we've been needing any sort of help or talking to anybody, everybody's spoken very good English, or the people we've had to communicate with, we've had no issues communicating with. That's, obviously on us to be able to communicate with people, because we're the travelers, and it's not up to them necessarily. And so, I'm out here with my translation app ready to do what I need to do to get check all the boxes and everything. But people speak really great English in this area, so that's been really, really helpful. And so I haven't really needed to use my translation app. Honestly, I had to with one guy when I was at a butcher, and he didn't really speak English, but even he tried, and I used the little Greek that I knew, and we got there, and it was great. So as far as just being able to come here and feel really comfortable in that regard, it's been really, really wonderful. And then lastly, as far as costs, being an island, I would say it's fairly expensive relative to maybe some of the other places that we've been that aren't islands. It's not, I think sometimes people have this expectation that certain places are going to be insanely cheap, for which, first of all, is a problematic headspace, because relative to the income of the locals, maybe it isn't cheap, and that is an expectation you shouldn't necessarily have. But I think also people I've seen online have this projection of, what they expect things to cost in an area. And, here I'd say everything has been pretty consistently priced with our experiences in the UK. And so a bag of apples costs the same as they do in the UK, in the touristy areas. But if you go to a bigger supermarket, it can be more cost effective. You just have to be conscious of it. Restaurant prices aren't as cost effective as I had expected, based on some of the things that I saw on the internet. You see all these things on the internet talking about how cheap things are, and again, very tastelessly presented. So I had those expectations in my mind as well, and they're definitely not that way. So just be aware of that. I think you can probably find really, really budget friendly things anywhere, but I would come prepared to grocery shop consciously and intentionally, and I would go to farmers markets and support local businesses where you can. And if you do that, you'll probably be a lot more budget conscious, and don't go crazy at the Starbucks or whatever, and you'll probably be happier. But overall, it's been an amazing trip. Yeah, it's been really wonderful. I would definitely come back. I think this would be one of our top vacation spots. Maybe not this specific area, but I would totally come back and check out another part of this in a heartbeat. I don't know where we would go next, but another part of either Crete or another island, Greek island, will be very, very high on the places we will check out. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening to me bumble, and follow me on social media if you haven't, at Zach Moves Abroad. Check out my blog, familymovesabroad.com, and subscribe if you have not subscribed here. Thanks, man. Bye.